Hi there, this is Linda, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I've taken a long hiatus from my travel and document series, partially because these videos take a lot of time to edit, but I decided that I wanted to get back into it. They've been piling up, and it's so fun for me to look back on my travels and to share them with you and share my travel journaling with you. So today, let's take a look at my trip to Barcelona, Spain, back last fall. So we made it to Barcelona. I don't know what we were thinking, but we booked a flight that had us arrive at 6 a.m. local time. And it was delayed a little bit, which meant the sun was fully up by the time we got there and we were exhausted. Thankfully, the hotel had an early check-in and we took a quick nap. And then we forced ourselves to get out around lunchtime. We both loved Barcelona from our initial thoughts. It was full of lots of cute shops and restaurants and a city that you could just explore without a plan. The only negative we really saw up front was a lot of crowds. Unfortunately, there were protests happening in front of the Gaudi houses, and it was kind of frustrating because I really wanted to see the beautiful architecture and not be in the middle of a protest. I did cut out a lot of my clips of the protest because I don't want YouTube to ban this video or put this video as political content, because that's not the point. But I just wanted to mention that those were happening. We went and visited a cute paper store called Entropia, and then we had some time resting in the room where I did some journaling about our first day, seeing the Gaudi houses, just exploring, and how everything came together. So I sat down in the room to journal, but before I did, I pulled out all of the stuff I had already picked up so far. While I am traveling, I am especially excited to look for ephemera. I also bought some craft stuff at the Entropia store, so here you can see what I got. I got a little calendar, some washi tape, and a few other little things. I'm also going to look through all of the ephemera that I collected and use that on my pages. Here you can see me opening the washi tape, and I'm just looking at everything. I'm so excited about it and seeing what things I can keep. You can see I kind of held on to the outside of the packaging there in hopes that I could keep it. That washi tape, I was actually a little disappointed because it's not washi tape, it's like sticker roll, so that was a little annoying. Then I'm going to dive into my actual journaling. So this trip I took in 2025. So I was in the Hobonichi cousin avec, and what I'm doing here is using the weekly pages to write down just factually what we did when. Here I brought, this is a fountain pen. It is a left-handed fountain pen, and I don't really use it that often, but it is from Rytech. It's the ClickTech left-handed fountain pen. I think they do also have it in right-handed, and I like it because it uses cartridges and it's such nice ink, and it's good for travel. You can't bring regular fountain pens on airplanes very easily, so this one was a good compromise for me to be able to use a fountain pen on the trip. My only negative of this pen is, well, I guess two negatives are that you can't use bottled ink with it, but the ink that it comes with is so great, the cartridge ink that they have. And the other one is it's just a little bit of a more medium tip, even though it's called extra fine. I'm writing out here everything we did since the last time I updated my journal, and I'm keeping track of all of the places we ate and everything that we did. So when I do my travel journaling, I like to do my weekly spreads first, or wherever I'm keeping track of these notes. Sometimes I'm using a Hobonichi Weeks, sometimes I'm using like this, my weekly spreads in a Hobonichi cousin. Whatever I've decided, I usually have a place where I just keep quick notes, not worried too much about them being pretty, of this is what we did and when. And this is a good reference for me to have if I need to back journal at any point in time, if I need to create travel albums. I still have not put together my travel album from this vacation, so these notes are going to be invaluable when I go back to do that, and I will remember what we did. Going through these video clips to edit this video, I am also being reminded of what we did, but these quick notes are really the most important to me because I don't necessarily have time to journal every day while on vacation. I get so many questions about my travel journaling, and this video is going to go into more detail about how I travel journal on this specific trip. If you are interested in my process in general, I do have a separate video talking about travel journaling in general and my process for it. So I will link that in the description box below if you are interested. For this page, now I'm moving on to my daily pages. So after I do the weekly spread, which is my priority because that's where I'm writing down just the quick facts of what we did, I'm going to work on my daily pages. When I'm working on my daily pages, I focus on today's page first, and then I will backfill any pages I've missed. I don't always have time to do my daily pages or the energy while traveling, so sometimes I'm going to have to come back and fill this in, but for now, I am on top of things. This is the first stop in this travel. So you can see here flipping to the last page, that was my travel day, and I did some of that journaling, I think, on the plane. And so this is our first day here. I'm super excited to get into the journaling, to explore. I have a lot of energy. So, I will fall off at some point, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect all of the time. Here I am able to just enjoy it as I go. And if I have to fill some places in later, that's totally fine. If you want to travel journal and you worry that you're not going to be able to keep up with it or do perfectly, that's okay. Just do what you can and fill the rest in later. Here I'm playing with this new washi tape, trying to get a piece out, and I'm going to have to, there I go, to kind of swatch it on there. When I buy new stuff on vacation, I like to swatch it. When I buy new stuff in general, I like to swatch it, but that is one of the things I do often in travel is I don't bring a ton of supplies, and then I use what I can find. So here I purchased some new craft supplies, so I'm going to swatch those, but I also cut out a bag from a croissant that I got and have the business card from the craft store that we went to. And I'm using that to decorate this page. Our second day and first full day in Barcelona started out overcast and we had a little drizzle, but it was generally nice out. We realized pretty quickly that Barcelona is a late city, so we had trouble finding coffee in the morning, but we were able to figure it out. I am a super morning person, and so is my boyfriend, so it was a little bit rough, but that's okay. We were able to also beat the crowds places. After breakfast, we started with Park Güell, which was neat, but very crowded. Even though we got there early, there were still a lot of people. But I do have quite a few clips here just looking around the park and exploring it, which was super fun. So our next stop after Park Gael was to go up to Tibidabo, which was super pretty, but windy and not a ton to see. I think it was kind of more like a touristy trap sort of situation, but the church itself was really neat. And what we did was we took a bus, a metro, and a funicular up the hill. And if you're not familiar with a funicular, it's kind of like a metro that goes up a slope. So you can see the footage I filmed going up and back down on this, which I thought was super cool. And you can see the two funiculars kind of passing here, which is super awesome. And then at the very top, when you get to the top, there is this really cool church, which was super pretty and neat to see. What I didn't like was there was also sort of like an amusement park or something. I don't know. I didn't really capture much about that because we took pictures of the church, we got a good look at it, and then we left and went back down and went to the room and relaxed for a bit, which is when I spent some time doing my journaling about the day. Later in the day, we do go out again for dinner and to check out some other areas, which tends to be our kind of routine in travel. We get out early, do some sightseeing, get lunch, look around everything, and then we come back to the room when I spend some time journaling, processing everything that we've done and relaxing, and then we go back out for dinner and probably to see one more thing in the evening before bed. This night, what we ended up doing was getting paella, which you'll see fairly soon in this video. I brought my Canon Selfie Square along, which is what I like to use to print photos while traveling. Those actually do print out as stickers, but I was having issues with the pack that I had, so I'm actually using rolling adhesive in this video, but they are stickers most of the time. I just had a bad pack or something. I don't know. But anyways, I do know they're stickers, and either way, they're still amazing. And so what I did here is I printed a photo of me at Park Gael, and then I'm just adding in some various things. I brought some supplies with me. I brought a few just different things to use, like washi tape, my rolling adhesive, stickers, and I'm adding in some ephemera that I collected. I cut out that picture from the Tibidabo kind of, I don't know what that's called, like the flyer. I also had some stickers that were themed for the destination that I went. I tend to pick up stickers ahead of time that have the same themes of wherever I'm traveling to. So I got some Barcelona ones for this trip. I have a few different ones from different brands. I don't know off the top of my head what brands I had, but if you're going to any destination, I recommend just looking on Etsy for some small businesses that create travel stickers, or checking out some of your regular favorite brands that do create travel stickers. Here you can see I'm doing journaling about my day, what we did so far. I brought with me my Sailor Shikiori markers. I did not bring all of them. I brought just a few colors that I wanted to pull from. And I do talk more about supplies and everything in my travel journaling video. This one is just more specific of what I have for this trip. So this again was also a few months ago. Like at this point, it's been more than 6 months. So I'm not fully remembering everything I did, but this video is really refreshing my memory. So I'm super happy that I have this footage. And I just wanted to share with you kind of how my adventure from the morning translated to the page. After I finish up this journaling, we do go back out down to the waterfront and to the downtown area and check out a little bit of that. We do end up going there for another day, so not just this evening, but it's called the Gothic Quarter, which has a lot of shops and everything and nightlife. And we are not really nightlife people, but we did go to this restaurant called Colombe for paella, and it did not disappoint. If you want paella and you are in Barcelona, definitely go there, but you will have to wait. We got there early and we still had to wait over an hour. 100% definitely worth it. Our third day started with probably the top visited destination, definitely the top visited destination in Barcelona, the Sagrada Familia, which did not disappoint. If you're not familiar with this church, it has been under construction forever and it's still under construction, but it is absolutely breathtaking. We got there early and we stopped for coffee and pastries at Blackbird, which is right around the corner and definitely worth a stop for your breakfast in the morning before going to the La Sagrada Familia. We had to wait a bit for our tickets. They were at 9:45. And we didn't get the first ones of the day because I think we didn't buy them soon enough. So definitely something to keep in mind if you're trying to purchase tickets to go to this beautiful, beautiful church. There's just so much detail, but we did spend some time walking around the exterior, seeing all of the sides and everything. It was also pretty crowded, but then we went inside. And you guys, the outside of this thing is really impressive and crazy looking, but the inside is so much neater. Here you go, you guys, we're going in and it is just breathtaking. The best thing about this place is the stained glass. You can see all of the light shining in. It is just incredible. You want to be here on a sunny day when the sun is shining in because it is just amazing. Some people suggested to me to go in the afternoon for that, but honestly, the morning light was so gorgeous. I feel like I didn't capture it perfectly on video, but I did get some incredible photos, which I love so much. It's just breathtaking. We also had tickets to go up in the tower, in the Passion Tower. So we did that. There were so many stairs in such a narrow hallway, but it was still really cool to see. And I'm going to take you guys up there to see the views of it. I just wanted to share so much of this video content that I filmed of the interior because it was just breathtaking. There was so much to look at, so much to see. And the detail is incredible. I filmed, here you can see a close-up. This is of one of the doors. Isn't that so insane? It's just gorgeous. And yeah, I don't even know. I don't have words. But then we went up in the tower and there's a lot to see up there as well. The Sagrada Familia is so incredible. I highly recommend visiting Barcelona just for this attraction alone. It was just so impressive. After visiting the Sagrada Familia, we went back to the room for a bit and I did some journaling. I am super excited about journaling, especially in the beginning of vacations. Towards the end, I fall off a little bit, which is totally okay. But here, what I'm doing is filling in the end of yesterday before I'm going to journal about this morning. One of the supplies I always bring with me when travel journaling is alpha stickers. And I totally forgot them for this vacation. So, what I ended up having to do is make my own because I really wanted to do a big title about the Sagrada Familia. So, what I did was I wrote it out with my marker on this brown paper that I had. I just had some like scraps of brown paper that I brought with me, and you'll see me use it throughout my journaling. And I'm just cutting all of these letters out. I'm making my own alphas. And honestly, I actually love how it comes out. I might do this again at some point. Or if you don't have alpha stickers or you want to bring less with you, you can definitely do so much on your own by just making your own supplies. This is such a reminder that you can always do that. You just need basics like a pen, rolling adhesive, and scissors, and a couple markers, and you can come up with so much, especially using things that you find at your destination. After journaling, I browsed some shops near the hotel, but I didn't find anything. Then we went down to the Gothic quarter and got a quick lunch, and I browsed Rema, which is a cute and huge store, but I still didn't find anything that I wanted to purchase. We had 3 p.m. tickets to tour the Palau de la Música Catalana, and it was super pretty, but not really a ton to see, but we were super exhausted and the time of our tickets was not really what we wanted to do, but it just ended up being the time that we could get. So if you do go to Barcelona, I highly recommend getting tickets for things in advance. We did purchase our tickets in advance, but maybe not far enough. I think we did maybe a month out. Then after all of this, we were super exhausted. The time change just kicked my butt so much. And so we took an afternoon nap, which is totally expected and fine when traveling internationally. I want to see so many things. I like exploring, but I also want to take it easy. I'm on vacation, right? So then we just relaxed for a bit. Here's some footage of that Palau de la Música Catalana. It's really cool looking. I'm not entirely sure why it was so hard to get tickets because it didn't seem to be as busy as a lot of other places, but it is in the Gothic Quarter. So it was a nice thing to see that evening. And it was nice to get down to the Gothic Quarter and get some of that done because there was a lot to see there. And that was what we were going to come back and do the following morning. We went out one more time this evening to get dinner. This time we got some tapas, and then we also got some ice cream back by the hotel, just enjoying vacation. And I did a little bit more journaling before calling it a day. On our last day in Barcelona, we actually slept in for us, but we still got a pretty early start and went to the Gothic Quarter. We got coffee there, and you could see the video footage when we first got there in the morning. Everything was kind of deserted. The shops were closed still, which was kind of neat to see. There's so much to see in the Gothic Quarter. We started with the Arc de Triomphe, which is similar to the one that's in Paris, but much smaller, and it's like a reddish brown, which was nice to see in the morning. I don't think I would have gone out of my way for it, but we were able to get there. The Cathedral de Barcelona was also really neat, and there was the Bezos mural, which was super fun, and the Pont de Bisbee bridge, which is this little tiny bridge in between some of the alleys. There's a lot of shops and things to see in this area, so we did go to a lot of those shops. I was a little disappointed in the craft shops, but the sightseeing was really great. There were a lot of crowds, but it was just neat to wind our way between all of the buildings and see everything that there was to see. Then we went to a market for lunch, and one of the things that they do in Spain is have these markets where there's just all these little shops, and we got a bunch of tapas to eat for lunch just kind of while walking around. It was really cool and neat and very delicious. The food in Barcelona was absolutely amazing. After lunch, we rested in the room for a while. I did go out from the hotel to check out the Muji shop, which was not that impressive. I've been to Muji's before though. They didn't have anything new here. And then I went through all of my ephemera that I collected so far this day and did some journaling. I had a lot to say in my journaling this day, and I had picked up some really gorgeous postcards. Postcards are super chunky, so I try to avoid putting them in my journal as much as possible. But when traveling, I really kind of allow myself to add a lot more bulk than usual so that I can include things like this. I added one of the postcards I picked up to create a flip out, and then I added some more journaling on the back of the postcard and added another photo. I don't finish that page on this video, I don't think, but There are photos of all of my completed travel spreads on my Instagram. Then we went out for our next part of the day. We went up Mont Juice, which meant we had to take the metro, then another funicular, which this is footage of us going up the funicular. And then we went on an aerial tram. There is a castle to see at the top, but honestly, we had no interest in seeing the castle. We just wanted to go on the aerial tram and see the views, and it did not disappoint at all. Then we walked back down. After we took the aerial tram down halfway, we walked the rest of the way back down. They actually had escalators outside to help you walk down the hill, which was super cool. And then we just went for a quick and easy early dinner by the hotel, and we're ready to call it an early night. We loved Barcelona so much, and I did do a little more journaling to wrap up my time in Barcelona before we headed off to our next destination, which was Marrakesh, Morocco. Stay tuned because I will definitely be editing and sharing that travel and document video at some point, hopefully soon. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.